In this clip, I'm going to be going over the subject that a lot of people ask me about, and that's how to paint clouds in oils. I've already started the underpainting of the clouds, so I really want to show you the details because that's where it gets really fun. So in this piece, it's pretty easy just to put down this. I pretty much just took whatever colors I saw on the picture in whatever forms and threw it down and then mixed it together with a soft brush. And I chose the turquoise because I've been dying to try that color. Not that it looks like the color in the picture. So the first thing I'm going to do is the highlights because those are the most important part in clouds. That's really what brings it out. Now, I'm going to start at the top and put it on pretty thick. Wherever I see areas of white. Now the whiter it is, the thicker I'm going to put it on. Of course, no two clouds look the same ever, so if it's not exact, it's not a big deal. The thing that you want to look out for, if you're not going to make it exactly like the picture, is that the light's all coming from the same direction, and that the shadows on the clouds make sense. The fun thing about clouds is that to make them look real, there's a mix of rigid lines and very soft, fluffy lines. So you don't want to go over your whole painting with really soft lines or really rigid lines, or it's just going to look kind of funny. While I'm just laying this on, I'm just going to gloop it. This is the part I've been most excited about up here. Because you have these little outlines of the clouds. But once you get it on there, it's going to automatically just make it pop. You have all these little rolls in the clouds. And my paint layer below wasn't completely dry. If it was dry, it'd be easier to make it really bright white. But I'm going to have to put it on a little bit thicker. And one thing to think about, since we're doing this in oils, it's a bit easier to do layers. Because when you're doing clouds, you want to think about, okay, this cloud is in front of that cloud. So if I were to blend in this cloud on top of that one, it's going to make it look like it's standing out more. So to blend in the areas that I want to, I'm going to need a really nice clean brush that's very soft. I'm going to start at the top. And not touching the edges over here where it's bright white, I'm going to blend it in a little bit. Now this cloud goes on top of this one, so I'm going to have to come back over with darker color and blend on top of it. And it keeps some of the rigid shapes. Let me get a bit of a bigger brush. Once again, this doesn't have to be exact, just kind of fluff it out. Somewhere along the line I got a dirty brush on here. You can see all the little specks. Now to get a little bit more detailed fluffage, come back in with a clean brush. Make those little wispies. Add some more white to my brush. That brush is a little too rigid. Let's see what I got. We'll keep drying brushes till we find one. Painting is all about experimenting. Trying different techniques, different brushes. See what works best for you in each picture. Now we got some highlights in. Once I finish blending in this part, we can go back in and do some of the shadows. This is very dark, so I'm gonna put in a good amount. I pulled in some of the turquoise color from behind the sky so it matches a little bit better. And this area is going to be the darkest. Pull that in. Another good color to use for clouds and snow would be a Payne's gray, because that's already a good gray blue. I can blend those guys back in together. Make the top a little bit more wispy. Okay, so I'm gonna get a bigger brush. Really go crazy with this wide area. Now you can keep layering and making it darker and darker and going back and forth over each area that you want highlighted. By adding this last layer, I've just kind of made more depth to the painting. But there's still a lot that you can do, which is why I love layers and oils, because I can just keep going back and forth over each spot until I get it exactly how I want it. Just remember when doing clouds to make some spots more rigid and some spots soft, and going back and forth until it's exactly how you like it, and you'll eventually have beautiful clouds.